Well, that is very much one of those games where I'm looking at it thinking, how have we not got anything from that game? A 2-1 defeat today at Villa Park for Forest, and I really don't think we deserved it. The first 15 minutes, we absolutely deserved to lose, and it looked like it was going to be a very bad day. I was having flashbacks to the first half against Newcastle, the Bournemouth game. As great as this season's been, home and away, we clearly have still been capable of having the odd nightmare moment, particularly away from home, imploding a few times still. It has still happened. It looked like it was going to happen again today, and it did for a bit. 2 very poorly defended goals in quick succession, and of course it was all centred around the injuries to Ola Aina and Chris Wood, and obviously not having Alex Moreno available. It all kind of revolved around that. I think possibly a back 3 would have happened, but I don't think you see Dominguez playing as a wing back. You would have obviously had Chris Wood in there, or maybe you do stick to a back 4 and put Moreno in if you have him available. And this is the thing with us this season, is we have been ultimately very lucky, but we haven't had injury luck like we have had in previous seasons. Our injury luck this season has been incredible. We've not really had any big injuries at all, besides Danilo, of course. We've been lucky, especially in that full-back and striker position. With only 2 strikers, one of them is clearly not what he was. The other is incredible, but we couldn't always rely on him for these sorts of moments where he's not available. And then the full-backs, as great as Nico and Aino have been, and then Alex Moreno to come in, it's only really those 3 that are on the level we need. We clearly do not trust Harry Toffolo or Eric de Silva Moreira, because if we did, they would have surely come in today. The fact that we didn't have a natural left back to play besides Nico Williams, or only one full back that would normally start, and you don't bring in Toff or Eric, it just says everything really. Awful first 15 minutes, really stabilised after that, and then the second half, I'm not just being biased, I think we were the better team. Villa, they still created problems, they still looked very dangerous coming forward. In fact, the chances they did have in the second half, they had less than they did in the first. They pretty much dominated every aspect of the first half. The chances they had in the second half were all very dangerous. There was some great chances. Tielemans had a chance. There was a very dangerous counter-attack from Morgan Rogers, I believe, and we somehow defended it. And at the very end, Rashford trying to lob Matt Sells, and he did incredible to come back and get it out of danger. The chances Villa had were dangerous, but we dominated periods of that second half, most of it, and I'm so frustrated. And the fact that we conceded 2 in the first 15, and we're saying we're frustrated by not getting a point, that's great, really. The fact that we responded, but it's still really frustrating to have the ability to implode and concede in bulk, because it still happens even this season. You've got to be better than that, and I can't criticise this team, really. It's given me the greatest season I've ever known as a Forest fan. Let's not get carried away. But it is just a bit of a concern that it can still happen, and it cost us today ultimately, because I'm just frustrated that we didn't get anything. I've not even mentioned the goal we did score. Great performance, I think, from Jota Silva, playing in a 2 sort of striker role with Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs White behind, Nico swapping and changing sides, Sosa came on as well, Willy Bolly came on. Obviously you had Anderson and Yates in midfield. It was just a really strange sort of setup, really, and I think it worked better in the second half. But yeah, it was always a bit makeshift. It was always going to be probably the hardest game left in the season, I think, definitely. And the bench showed, a few players out, and the squad suddenly looks a lot weaker. It still put up a great fight today, I thought, against Villa, and I think we deserved a point. I think that would have been a fair result. Villa were great as well in a lot of aspects of the game. They're a very, very dangerous side. I mean, look at their bench. It was, a joke how good that bench is. They're a great team, living a dream like we are currently as well. But they definitely had more about them today. So yeah, I'm just disappointed to not get anything from that. Plus Everton next week, not easy. No game left is easy this season. They're all games that can give us tough moments, and Everton, they've been inconsistent of late, so that's a game we should really be winning, and let's just try and respond to losing here. Please get your thoughts in the comments, everybody. We should have Chris Wood back for that game, I think, or Aina possibly too. Let's hope we do. I hope you've enjoyed this to a point, everyone. And yeah, up the Reds.